Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda Fr-V 1.8 EX manual. As you can see here, 59 plate car, just over 60,000 miles, finished in silver, and as with all the EXs, with a full leather interior on the car. Very nice car, been kept really nicely. Front of the car, you can see there, lights, lenses, completely clear and intact. I do apologise, it's literally just starting to drizzle, which doesn't help the videos, but there we go. I'm pressed for time, so I've got to do as much as I possibly can. But it's very clean. Bonnet exhibits hardly a stone chip of any note on there at all. Really clean and tidy. Flanks of the car, mirror smooth down the panels on this near side, really clean. Alloy on the side, generally very good. Just the lightest bit of curbing, which you can clearly expect. Near side alloy always takes the brunt, I'm afraid. Near side rear, very good indeed. Then to go around the back of the car, obviously parking sensors fitted on these EX models as well. The back of the car again, very good indeed. Just the lightest marks. Which again, 10-year-old car you can expect to see, but they are very light indeed. This is one of the best you're going to see on the marketplace. Offside the vehicle, as with the near side. No indentations at all on the paintwork that I can see. Offside rear alloy, absolutely marked again. And then the remaining panels are really good. Been kept very well, this car, inside and out. Offside front, again, very good. Again, with just the tiniest bit of curbing right on the outside edge. But overall, it's in very nice condition. Let's come into the back of the car now. This is where the advantage of this 3-in-3 layout really comes into its own. You end up with a really big boot with all seats in situ, and those seats are nowhere near the back window of the car, which is really important for passenger safety. But it's been kept really nicely. Load liner fitted, as you can see in there, which keeps the carpets in good condition. Coming to the back of the car now, all been kept really well. It really has. The leatherwork is in fantastic condition back here. Coming to the front of the vehicle now, as with the back, full set of original Fr-V mats as well fitted to this car, original Honda ones. And that wonderful layout to the front there. Obviously, as you probably know, you can stagger the front seats and the rear seats to accommodate more legroom for the middle front passenger there. Coming to the front now, again, all been kept very clean and tidy. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section, so you can see the dashboard illuminated, which is in really fabulous condition. It really is. Love these interiors, it's just such a good design. Obviously heated seats on these EX models with leather seats as well. This one has had a Parrot hands-free system fitted as well, but that's not been tested. May well work, but I haven't tried it, so just please do bear that in mind. But it really is a fabulous car in here. They're just so nice and solid. See there, 62,509 miles, and there's no warning lights on the vehicle whatsoever. Finally, just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack, very importantly, lock and wheel nut key, are both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Fr-V 1.8 EX manual. This particular car is registered SM59BWA, and mileage at the start of the road test is 62,509 miles. The reason we do these road tests is so basically people who are looking at the car on the advert get to see the very car in operation. We're aware that many of our customers come from not just the UK but Europe as well, so are willing to travel a long way to come and purchase our cars. So the least we can do is go to the time and effort to actually show you the car in operation, which gives us opportunity to let you know of any issues there may be on the car, which would make you think twice about coming to see us. You know, because we've been on the receiving end ourselves of, you know, going to look at cars only to find out when you get there that there's a fundamental problem with them. This road test also done on these very quiet country roads and this lovely part of Gloucestershire, even on a miserable day like today. We're literally just a couple of miles off the motorway. It's so easy to get to, but you'd never believe it, you know, that you're that close to the motorway because it's so quiet around here. It does make for a very, very quiet and relaxing test drive. So come to the car itself. Obviously it's been a well looked after car, as you'll know from the description in the advert, and it drives exactly as you'd expect. It's just gone through an independent MOT. We don't do our own MOTs for fairly obvious reasons, and it passed without any advisories at all. Engine, which is a wonderful, wonderful unit, starts absolutely instantly. There's no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. But it's the way the engine operates. It's just such a lovely, sweet engine to use. Very, very docile, quiet, very quiet in fact. It's under there but you hardly hear it at all. It's just a perfect companion and match for the car. It works brilliantly well, and they're fantastically reliable over many hundreds of thousands of miles. Cam chain driven, no cam belts on these Honda cars, so there's no big cam belt service ever scheduled for the car. Engine then feeds through clutch and then into gearbox. Clutch on the car, smooth, positive. Bite point is exactly where it should be on the clutch pedal travel as well, all exactly as it should be. Likewise the gearbox, which, as I've said on previous videos for Fr-V, in essence, I mean, this could be out of one of their sportier cars. It's got such a lovely actuation to it. It feels just precise, mechanical, slick. It really adds to the drive of the car, and obviously with this high up gear lever position, it's fingertips. You guide a Honda gearbox into gear, you don't fight with them, because the springing, the detent springing when it's coming back into the gears, you know, 5th to 4th, 3rd to 2nd, you just basically just pull it back like that and it finds its way home perfectly every time. But it's very short in throw, so if you do have a middle passenger here, who would be further back by the way, you're not elbowing them in the chest every time you're changing gear. So, you know, big lollopy gear change would be useless in a car like this. And the gear change feels exactly as it did when it was new, and I used to sell these new when I worked at Honda. Steering on the car, again, what I'm looking for is just any signs of wear. It tracks bullet straight. There's no vibrations at all coming back through the steering of the car, and it's a lovely generation of steering. It's proper hydraulic power steering, which gives you a feeling of solidity on the road. That's kind of hard to explain, and you'll know if you drive the car what I mean. The car just actually feels heavier than it is, which is nice. Not heavy to drive or hard to drive at all, because it's power assisted of course, but it just makes the car feel lovely and solid on the road, and I can't detect any wear through it at all. Same goes for the chassis. What I'm looking for on these road tests is just signs that, you know, when you hit a bump, you'll hear it go thump into the bump, but there shouldn't be any kind of secondary chatterings or clonking going on at all, and there's nothing on this whatsoever. It's I rate this as one of the, if not the most comfortable riding Hondas of all. It's a brilliant suspension setup, because obviously in mind they've got the fact that this is going to be a people carrier, so they want people to be ferried around nice and comfortably, but without loads of body roll and heave-ho through the corners. And these don't. They're very wide in track because you've got the 3 cars seats abreast, but it means you don't get this awful lurching you get in lots of cars, which is obviously good if you're carrying lots of passengers who may be prone to car sickness, of course. Brakes on the car, so really good brake pedal on the car. What I'm looking for when it hits the brakes, it doesn't just suddenly pull violently left or right, but also the brake pedal, when you apply it, there's no pulsing or vibrations coming back through at all, and there is nothing on this one. Look around inside the car. I love the interiors on these. I think they're really classy. They've clearly nicked the colour scheme and some of their ideas here from BMW, because it just looks very reminiscent of a 5 Series, in my eyes at least. But it is beautifully made. There's no squeaks or rattles or buzz trims at all. It feels rock solid in here. They are fantastically well made cars. Heated seats work beautifully. Just check the cruise control, working exactly as it should. It's just a really, really high quality machine. It really is. As I said at the start of the video, I mean, the point of these videos is actually to be quite critical of the cars, you know, which we are. So if there's, you know, something not right on the drive of the vehicle, you do get to know, but there's nothing on this. It drives just brilliantly well. It really, really does. You know, whoever's lucky enough to take this one on as the next owner will be buying a very, very nice car indeed. I've had 2 or 3 of these personally over my time and absolutely loved them. They're just great for what they're designed for. But you know, I was years ago, I won't mention the name of the manufacturer, but lots of manufacturers use the same seating. I had like the 2 up the front, 3 in the middle and 2 perched at the back there. Stopped on a motorway and the lorry behind didn't see that I'd stopped and came flying towards me, billowing smoke off his tyres, and I looked in horror as he came heading towards the back window where 2 kids were sat right at the back, and just at the last second he managed to avoid us. And if he hadn't, I hate to think what might have happened. And it was the last time I drove a car like with that layout. It scared me witless. But anyway, that's by the by. So the car is absolutely fine, but if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate, do call us.